21st June 2022, Tuesday. Fear not thou, O my servant Jacob. Jeremiah 46:27. Twice the Lord had spoken through prophet Jeremiah to the people of Judah, those who are carried to Babylon as captives, saying, Fear not thou, in verses 27 and 28. The Lord used the nations like Egypt and Babylon in order to chastise his people Judah. But after the accomplishment of the plan of God, the Lord would punish these nations like Egypt and Babylon. But the Lord promised his people prophetically that he would deliver them from the hands of these nations. Verse 27 says, But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return, and be in rest at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Here the Lord had spoken that he would bring his people back again to Jerusalem and establish them. In verse 28, the Lord said, Fear thou not, O Jacob, my servant, saith the Lord, for I am with thee. For I will make a full end of all nations whither I have driven thee, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure, yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. Very interestingly, the words that are written in Jeremiah chapter 30 and verses 10 and 11 are repeated here in chapter 46 and verses 27 and 28. We observe twofold purpose of God in these verses. First of all, the Lord told his people, the nation of Israel and Judah, not to fear because he has seen them as his servant, and therefore he will break the bondage or even the yoke to set them free, delivering them, enabling them to return to Jerusalem in order to serve him. Secondly, the Lord told his people, Israel and Judah, not to fear because he would not make the full end of them. However, he will make a full end of the nations like Egypt and Babylon. Though he will not allow his people to go unpunished fully and correct them in measure, the Lord told that he would bring them back again to Jerusalem. In the history of the Bible, we observe that these prophecies are fulfilled. The people of Israel were carried as captives into Assyria. The people of Judah were carried as captives into the land of Babylon. However, the Lord had brought his people back again to Jerusalem, and he punished the nations and made a full end of those nations. From the dealings of the Lord towards his people, Israel and Judah, we can learn precious lessons. God would not allow his people to go unpunished, but he chastens his people when they commit sin against him. The comfort for the people of God is that Lord will not allow his people to perish in chastening, but he will make his people as better people through the chastisement and make them to serve him in a better way. Therefore, in all the dealings of our God in our lives, let us not fear, because the Lord would work out everything for our good according to Romans 8:28, and his plans are not for evil but for peace and to give us an expected end.